They said we were lucky to be there, floating in the stars, breathing alien air, learning from the most advanced species in the galaxy. But we weren't equals, we were subjects. They let us walk their corridors, but never touch their walls. They let us sit in their schools, but never at the front. And every human wore a badge that said, student, servant, observer. We smiled, we bowed, we learned. But some of us weren't learning to obey. We were learning to take. Deep beneath the colony, below the transit rails and gravity spires, there was a vault. They called it the Array, a cold, silent labyrinth of living machines, alien tech beyond anything Earth had ever known. Biointerfaces, neural conduits, matter-weaving platforms. Humans weren't allowed inside, but I didn't wait for permission. I memorized their patterns, their language. I watched them activate gates with thought alone. And one night, when the guards changed shifts and the cameras looped, I entered. The air tasted electric. The floor pulsed beneath my boots. And in the center, a core, glowing blue and humming like a heart. I didn't know what I was doing, but I touched it, and it responded. The next morning I was summoned, not by a teacher, not by a mentor, by the Council of the Etherian, 7 of them, tall, cold, brilliant, each one encoded with centuries of memory, their minds wired to the ship's master AI. They didn't sit, they hovered, and when they looked at me, I felt like an insect beneath a magnifying glass. You touched the core. It responded. That should not be possible. I didn't lie. There was no point. So I told them the truth. I want to learn more. I want to help. I want to be like you. They whispered to each other in a language I almost understood. And then they let me go. Curiosity is dangerous, one of them said, but so is ignorance. Weeks passed. They let me stay. But they also started watching me. What they didn't know was this. I wasn't alone. There were others, humans, quiet ones, working in labs, cleaning corridors, sweeping engine cores, who remembered Earth. And we had a name, the Ascendants. We didn't want to destroy the aliens. We wanted to outgrow them. We studied. We shared secrets. We built our own code. Code that could interface with Etherian tech. Code that could hijack a tower. Code that could fly the entire colony. We had a plan, not for rebellion, but for evolution. One of ours broke, a mechanic named Kellen. Too scared, too proud. He reported us. They didn't arrest us. They tested us. They set a trap. They gave me access to the control bridge of the colony, a full override key. It was bait, and I took it. I didn't go to the bridge alone. I brought her, Celis, the only Etherian who ever saw me as more than data. She warned me. If you do this, you'll start a war. No, I said. I'll finish one. The moment I accessed the override, everything went dark. The colony shuddered. Doors sealed. Sirens screamed. And across every screen, a new symbol appeared. A human hand, gripping a star. The Etherian responded instantly. They weren't peaceful. They never were. Their ships detached from the core like mechanical vultures. But we were ready. We'd rewritten the drones, reprogrammed the supply routes. We even built cloaking fields from their own prototypes. It wasn't a war of armies. It was a war of minds. Signal versus signal, will versus will. I led the charge, not as a general, but as proof that they were wrong. We were not meant to serve, we were meant to rise. Salas tried to stop me. She begged me. This place was built by peace. Don't turn it into earth. But earth was gone, and I would not let this one belong to them. We won, not because we were stronger, not because we were smarter, but because we remembered something they didn't, what it feels like to be underestimated. The Etherian retreated. Some remained. Some now serve under me. Because I didn't destroy the colony. I rewrote its command line. From that day forward, humans ruled the sky, not with fire, but with memory. I don't wear armor. I don't carry a sword. I sit in the highest tower of Etherian Prime. And I carry a name that no alien can erase, the human who stole the stars.